Hey everyone, this is Coach K talking about what we are going to do to end mass incarceration, the school to prison pipeline. I am going to do lectures from the rich get richer and the poor get prison, ideology, class, and criminal justice, Jeffrey Raymond and Paul Leighton, and coaching, evoking excellence in others by James Flattery. So let's begin. I left off on chapter one. So we're going to start back on getting this curriculum started for this year. Here's the overview over the chapter one called Crime Control in America. Nothing succeeds like failure. Is it crime and punishment that go hand in hand, or does punishment feed the crime that plagues our land? Robert Johnson, A Zoo Near You. Failure is the eye of the beholder. Anonymous. Chapter 1 has three main objectives: to examine the exclusive focus on police and prison as the response to America's high crime rate and the limited role they played in causing a decline in crime rates, to review the excuses that are made for our high crime rates and how we choose to have the crime rates we do, and to outline the Pyrrhic defeat theory to explain the continued existence over decades of policies that fail to reduce crime. The subtitle of Chapter 1, Nothing Succeeds Like Failure, highlights an important aspect of the larger argument. The criminal justice system is failing, even if crime rates are down from all time highs. Tough on crime policies had little to do with the reductions in crime rates, and mass incarceration had some backfire effects that promoted crime. Crime rates in the United States are still high compared to other developed countries. They are now down to the rates experienced during the 1970s, when crime was seen as an alarming problem. Policies targeting sources of crime, inequality, guns, prison, drug policy, and evidence based policies about what works to reduce crime have not been seriously considered. Ultimately, American criminal justice policy makes more sense if we look at the system as wanting to have high crime rates. There are groups for whom crime pays and for whom the system failure is a success designed to fail. In the last 50 years, crime rates have gone up and down, although mostly up until the 1990s and then down substantially. Current crime rates are still above what they were in the early 1960s, in spite of various tough on crime proposals that propelled the U.S. into the largest prison expansion the world has ever known. From 1980 to 2000, the U.S. built more prisons than it had in all of its history, creating what has been called an incarceration binge, mass incarceration, hyper incarceration, and a plague of prisons. The policies that led to the U.S. having the highest incarceration rate in the world obviously contributed something to lowering crime rates, but the contribution was modest at best, and it came at an enormous financial cost, heightened racial inequality, and tensions, and added to the variety of social problems like the breakdown of inner city communities. And while getting tough on crime is no longer the dominant theme in political discussions about criminal justice, the persistence of a failed policy for decades requires examination. In response to rising crime rates during the 1960s, President Johnson proposed a number of initiatives addressing the causes of crime. These included anti poverty and economic opportunity programs. I am so sorry, guys. Okay, economic opportunity programs that sought to spend the benefits of America's successful economy to more citizens. Programs that addresses social inequality were considered to be anti-crime programs because they attacked crime's root causes. Johnson declared, "There is something mighty wrong when a candidate for the highest office bemoans violence in the streets, but votes against the war on poverty." Votes against the war on poverty, votes against the Civil Rights Act, and votes against major education